What is up, budgeting family and friends? My name is Sharia. This is the Sharia Mac channel where I am documenting my debt-free journey as an entrepreneurial licensed clinical social worker with a virtual private practice, also working part-time as a behavioral care manager, along with my husband, who is a full-time welder. Together, we have a combined income of about $115,000. We are a family of 7 with 3 adult children, 1 senior in high school and 1 fifth grader. And our goal is to be out of our 6-figure debt in 5 years or less. The optimal goal is 3 years. The realistic goal is 5. And I am documenting my journey with monthly budgets, weekly budgets, debt updates, and then I also share my private practice income at the end of every month. So if that is something that you could see yourself being interested in, informed by, or inspired by, then make sure you click that notification bell. Click the subscription button and turn on your notifications so that you can be notified every single time I upload a video. At this time, I do upload every Sunday and Wednesday, and on occasions I will do Fridays if I need to get caught up on content. Today's video is my February week 1 budget. I do budget weekly as I get paid on Fridays weekly. My husband gets paid on Thursdays weekly, and our weeks go from Thursday to the following Wednesday. So without any further delay, we will get right into the budget. All right. So as you can see, this budget goes from February the 1st to February the 7th, Thursday, February the 1st to Wednesday, February the 7th. The income for this pay period was planned income of $800. The actual was $849.60. My planned income for paycheck 1 was $900, and the pay was actually $936.67. And during this week, we also received the rental income of $850. So the planned income was $2,550, and the actual income for this week was $2,636.27. Savings for this week was planned at $565. That was $50 to my high yield savings account. That actually did go in, but the way it shows up, it actually ends up showing up on the follow. No, it doesn't. I don't know, but I did actually save the $50. $50 goes towards my husband's savings account. $25 went towards Christmas 2024. $10 goes towards my son's college fund that is still sitting in a savings account instead of a 529 plan. My daughter gets $50 per week, but she had ran up $1 on the credit card, so she only got $19. And then we're supposed to be saving $300 in the savings account for the investment property, but he saved $320 for that week. And then we were making sure to do a debt-free Valentine's Day. So we put $80 for 4 weeks into a savings account. So that bought our actual savings from the planned amount was $565. The actual was $554. Bills for this week are the same bills. We pay our mortgage weekly at $275.12. The monthly amount is $1,080 and some change. I don't know what it is. And then we had our life insurance at $133.26. Both of those amounts came out. And then we only had our child support, which was $100. That has since no longer been we made the last child support payment in week 2 of February, as my bonus son did turn 18 on February the 9th. So the bills for this week were $508.38, and we actually paid $508.38. We move over to expenses. Expenses for this pay period were $125. In groceries, we actually spent $153.16. Gas was planned at $120, and we actually spent $165.47. We had planned $25 in beauty maintenance, $50 in my son's hair, $50 in toiletries, and $50 in household, but nothing went into those categories. $50 towards eating out, and we spent $69.11. $0 for a date night, $0 for Will's spend, $0 for my spend, and $50 for miscellaneous, and we spent $25.61. We did not tithe. At this point, we are only tithing out of my part-time income, and I tithe the 10% of my net income. So our expenses total, the planned amount was $520. The actual amount was $413.35. Then we go over to debt. Debt for this pay period was $43 on the Carnival Barclays card, which is our target debt for the month of February. My financial goal is to pay that off, and I'm not sure if we'll make it or not, but I'm hoping so. We actually paid $83.60, and that is because $40 payment was due on Amazon American Express, and that actually has a zero balance. So that $40 was snowballed into the Barclay card payment. Then $1.98 was left on my Platinum American Express, and this was because I received a credit. I was charging up, trying to use the credit, and then I went over the amount of the credit, $1.98, and I immediately paid that off. $31.23 was on the card, and this is from where my daughter used the card, and I immediately paid that $31.23 off out of the $50 we put in her savings account. And then we also pay Honda Financial weekly. The monthly allotment is $1,000.78. So I pay $250.20 every week, and that is helping to tackle the interest. And then we also had to pay the HELOC at $288, and that was paid on the 2nd. And then my student loan payment comes out on the 6th. The lump sum payment is $357.78, I believe. And this is how that breaks down per loan. So all of that came out and was allocated to the loan. So the planned debt for this pay period is $975.58, and we put $1,009.39 towards debt. We go over to the budget versus the actual. The rollover amount has $250. I'm not sure how accurate that is, but I don't know. The planned income was $2,550, and we actually had $2,636.27. The income saved was $565, and we actually saved $554. I know the 50 is not here, but the $50 is automatically deducted into my savings account. And that's why a lot of times I don't track the expense, because by the time I see it, I've already recorded these videos. The planned income spent, which is the combination between bills and expenses, was $1,028.38. We actually spent $921.73. And the debt paid for this pay period was $975.58. And the debt we actually paid was $1,009.39. That left an actual balance, a planned balance of a negative $18.96, but an actual balance of $451.15. I don't know if that is accurate, because I don't remember $451.15 sitting in the account, especially at the first of the week, because this is the week that a lot of the bigger bills come out. So at the end of the previous week, we had first of all, the mortgage comes out, the car payment comes out, but then also we had $525 to Geico, and that came out, and it really puts us has us on a bare bones budget at the first, sometimes it's 1 to 2 weeks of the following month. In this case, it was just the first week, and I think it's because my husband had overtime in the following check. We go up to the breakdown, and it looks like 20.7% of our income went towards savings for this week, so that's good to see. 20.9% went towards bills. 17% even went towards expenses, and still debt taking a big chunk of our weekly income at 41.5%. We go down to the transactions for this week, and woo, is it a lot. So we did groceries. This was an extra spend, or maybe I just didn't do a full haul, but it was coffee, creamer, and orange juice, and that was $10.49. Wow, $10.49 for some orange juice and some coffee creamer. Savings, all of these are savings accounts. A debt payment to the American Express, fast food at $6.60. This was an emotional spend. I was having a horrible day that day. I actually ended up calling off of work and went and grabbed myself some Jersey Mike's and finished watching Griselda Blanco, that series on Netflix, and got myself together. I put $180 back into the Valentine's savings fund because $100 had came out for overdraft protection, because in that previous week we were overdrawn. $58.70 went towards gas, and that sounds more like the gas for the Honda Pilot. Then I got paid. These are all bills. When it comes to expenses, $126.94 in groceries. Then we also went to Lidl, and then to Lidl again. And I wonder what those, I know that this transaction was because I wanted to make some banana bread, and I needed some flour and some buttermilk, I believe. But I think I just got the flour. I didn't put buttermilk in the recipe. But then again, went to Walmart, Dunkin' Donuts, hibachi. Once again, car maintenance expenses coming up. We did a second fill up, which is what caused us to be over in our gas budget, because I did have to drive to my daughter's house, which is about 2 hours away. So I ended up having to fill up my truck again. And then we also filled up my husband's car for the week. And then we put more gas in the big truck, my husband's. No, this is not a gas. I don't know what this is, because this has been my student loan. So we didn't I don't know why this is here. Well, anyway, and then debt payments, another expense. I wonder where this, I think this was McDonald's. I think I had lunch with my son, but then I don't eat McDonald's, and that's what he wanted, so I just bought him the food. And then we had another debt payment of, I don't know why it does this. And we had another debt payment to the Carnival payment, the Carnival card, the Carnival Barclay card. So that was it for the expenses. That's the first week, February week 1's budget. Not too bad. I mean, the debt payments, I'll be glad when they are more applied to principal, because the debt payments for this week, a lot of it is just bills that are debts that are already due. But I would love to see more money go towards actual principal payments. So not too bad on like discretionary, or not necessarily discretionary, but like on reckless spending. So I'm glad that we are getting better with that. It's really good. I really like to see that, like, the bills are like $500. Like, when you think about if this was all we had, we really could be working part-time. But when your debt is so much more of, when you have so many more debt payments, like, I really understand how people... I'm 41, so I'm at that age where, like, I'm tired of working. I don't know how people worked for 40 years, but I don't want to do it. And so to think that all I need to do is eliminate these debts and I could live pretty comfortably off of $500 in bills, and that's not, $400 in bills, and then $500 in expenses, which would be a whole lot less as my kids get older, and then a little bit of savings. Like, we really could live comfortably off of $1,000 a week, or $1,500 a week. So why am I busting my behind? It just puts things in perspective. So That is why I continue to do weekly budgets, even though the journey seems so long, is because I like to see numbers like this and see that, like, I'm really doing this to myself. We're really just doing this to ourselves. But it's done. And so the only thing to do is to fix it. So that is my budget, February week 1's budget. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns about how I'm budgeting, what I'm budgeting, or why I'm budgeting what I'm budgeting, please let me know. How do you feel about this? Like, when you really sit down and look at, like, the bills you have to pay and then how much money in debts you have to pay. I mean, I know they're the same, like the debts. Well, no, they're not the same, because, like, I wouldn't have had to pay student loans or pay for a car, or pay for a HELOC, or pay for a credit card if I didn't have those things. So to see, like, how does this make you feel? Even when you're doing your own budget, how does it make you feel to see that you could literally live off of maybe $1,000 or $1,500 a month, a week, in bills, and that, you know, the debt payments are really what is causing you to have to work as hard as you work? How does that make you feel? It definitely has me fired up, but I will say in about 2 hours from now, I probably won't even be thinking about this. So, and then, like, when I'm ready to eat, I'm probably not going to be thinking about how I probably should eat from home. And this is exactly why I have to work, you know, a part-time job as well as still work full-time hours in my business. So, that is it. If you have watched thus far, thank you so very much for watching. Be sure to come back for the remainder of the weeks in February, as well as the debt update. Let's see if I was able to accomplish my financial goal of paying off the Carnival Barclays card. And I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your week, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye for now.